This is a case in which is being used to cause religious community hatred and division. It's feeding into the narrative that Muslim gangs are targeting Sikh girls for grooming gang. This case in Leicester involved 6 people convicted for offences of some sort against the girl. 2 of the offenders were named. Bharat Modwadia, Chandresh Mistry. Are these what you'd consider to be discernible Muslim names? They don't seem to be the average Pakistani Muslim name at the very least.
These are the men who took advantage of a vulnerable girl, exploited her and paid her for sex. The court heard the victim was an emotionally damaged young woman with significant problems who smoked cannabis, drank alcohol and self-harmed. The girl, who told the men she was a prostitute, wanted to make money to buy alcohol. Over a 2-month period up to January this year, the men would drive the victim to parks, flats and a bed and breakfast in Leicester before paying her £20 or £30 for sex.
I can't even say my full name now. I can't get myself to say my full name now. Subconsciously, like in the back of my head, I'm thinking about them. I can remember everything.
The offences only came to light when a group attacked the Mogul Durbar restaurant in Leicester earlier this year, where the 16-year-old had had sex with some of the men in an upstairs flat.
In addition, in further opposition to this anti-Pakistani Muslim narrative which sadly some Sikhs are embroiled in both online and offline, another offender, Rakib Iacub, is said to be from a family which emigrated from India, whilst another offender was an immigrant from a war-torn country, not Pakistan. For the Sikh community, a big problem this anti-Pakistani Muslim Sikh propaganda online about Pakistani Muslims deliberately targeting Sikh girls is that of missing the bigger picture because of bigotry. The bigger picture here is that of vulnerability. This gang or any other gang would have picked any girl, Sikh or not. All gangs of this nature target girls that are vulnerable, not girls based on ethnicity. The BBC News report even highlighted the vulnerability of the girl where she was struggling with intoxicants and struggling financially, psychologically and emotionally. The girl, now 17, had been drinking alcohol to excess, smoking cannabis and self-harming, and said she needed to make money as her parents had threatened to throw her out. Anti-Muslim Sikh propagandists need to stop misusing cases like this to spread hateful smears about Pakistani Muslims or Muslims in general. Leave your old regional rivalries and prejudices from India/Pakistan out of cases like this. It does not help the victim at all and further stokes resentment against other communities.
The court heard that many of the defendants claim they had no idea paying for sex with a 16-year-old was illegal, and that had they realised, the offences would never have been committed. They pleaded guilty to a total of 14 counts, including paying for sex with a child and child prostitution. Today, Leicestershire Police insisted criticisms they'd been slow off the mark were unfair.
I don't think it is fair. I think these investigations are challenging. So I want to reassure communities, we didn't just wait, we weren't slow on the uptake. We put a dedicated investigation team within 24 hours of being told about the potential concerns together, and we tried to secure evidence straight away.
Sentencing the men, the judge, Michael Pert QC, said any man with an ounce of decency would have tried to help the victim and not use her as a sexual commodity. Eleanor Ganya, BBC East Midlands Today at Leicester Crown Court.
I think what may be one of the issues is what happens when a Sikh girl is found out to be interested in a Muslim man. What happens? One second. What happens when the Sikh community tell their youngsters, tell their women, stay away from these Muslim guys, yeah, and they're demonized? Don't you think that makes the Muslim guys more attractive in the eyes of the young Sikh girls?
Yeah, look. There is a problem. Like you raised an issue about the community needs to start kind of, really looking at this issue from our point of view as well. And yeah, I mean, there is this kind of like, if a black guy come into a Asian Sikh family, he might have a bit of trouble getting married, but he'd get married. if a white person comes, there's some kind of white privilege, open, like they'd accept them with open arms, they'll love them. But when it comes to a Muslim guy, they will not let the marriage go ahead. And if it does, there'll be like massive fallout from all sides. And so, yeah, there is this history between us that is very, very, what I call toxic. And I admit, one thing I want to say to people here, I grew up with all Muslims until the age of 18. I had no friends that were 95% of my mates were all Muslims.